Have you heard the news? PETROSOL, one of Ghana's fastest growing oil marketing companies, has received approval to raise capital through the Ghana Stock Exchange. For many people, the first question is simple: should I invest? Before you rush to buy shares because you know the brand or because everyone is talking about it, there are few important things you need to understand. In today's video, I will explain what actually happened, what an IPO is, why PETROSOL wants to raise money from the public, the opportunities, the risks, and the key things every investor should look at before making a decision. If you are interested in building wealth through investing in Ghana, then this video is for you. Let's start by clearing up a common misunderstanding. Many headlines say PETROSOL is coming to the Ghana Stock Exchange. Some people assume this means the shares are already available for purchase. That isn't the case. What has happened is that PETROSOL has received regulatory approval from the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Ghana Stock Exchange to raise capital from the public. This is an important milestone, but it is not the final step. Before investors can buy shares, the company is expected to publish an official prospectus. That document will contain important details such as the price of a share, the number of shares being offered, the minimum investment amount, the subscription period, and the company's financial performance. So, if you are thinking about investing, don't make your decision based on headlines alone. Wait for the official documents. For those of you who don't know PETROSOL already, you wonder, who is PETROSOL? PETROSOL is a Ghanaian-owned oil marketing company that has grown rapidly over the years. From a relatively small business, it has expanded into a nationwide brand with more than 100 of fuel stations, 7 individuals, businesses, and commercial transport operators across Ghana. The company has built its reputation on fuel distribution, customer service, and expanding access to petroleum products. Now, it wants to take the next step by raising long-term capital from the investing public. According to the company statement, the funds will help support expansion into new service stations, renewable energy projects, and solar energy, electric vehicle charging infrastructure, and other long-term investments. That means PETROSOL isn't just thinking about today's fuel business, it is also positioning itself for the future of energy industry. That means PETROSOL isn't just thinking about today's fuel business, it is also positioning itself for the future of the energy industry. In my introduction, I told you I would explain what an IPO is to you, and this is because I want you to understand what we are talking about further. If you've never invested before, you may be wondering what all that means. Think of a company like a pizza. When the business is privately owned, only the founders own the slices. When the company decides to sell some of those slices to the public, people can buy a portion of that business. That process is called an initial public offering, or what we probably call an IPO. Instead of borrowing all of its money from banks, a company raises money from investors by selling shares. If the company grows and becomes more profitable, the value of those shares may increase over time. In some cases, investors may also receive dividends if the company chooses to distribute part of its profits. But it's important to remember that investing also comes with risks. Share prices can rise, but they can also fall. If you are wondering why a big company like PETROSOL might need to raise more money, you have to know. Growing a business requires capital. Opening new fuel stations, building storage facilities, investing in renewable energy, and expanding operations all require significant funding. Rather than relying only on bank loans, PETROSOL wants to raise money from investors. This can give the company access to long-term funding while reducing its dependence on debt. For investors, it provides an opportunity to own a small piece of a Ghanaian company with growth ambitions. As an investor, the next question on your mind would be, should I invest? This is probably the question you've been waiting for. The honest answer is this: it is too early to say. And that's not because PETROSOL is a bad company. It's because smart investing is based on evidence, not excitement. Before investing in any IPO, you should ask several important questions. Is the company making consistent profits? How much debt does it have? Is revenue growing year after year? Does management have a strong track record? Is the share price reasonable? Will the company pay dividends? These are the questions that separate investing from gambling. Just because a company is popular doesn't automatically make it a good investment. You might be wondering, what are the risks and the benefits? Every investment carries risk. For PETROSOL, one major risk is fluctuation in global oil prices. Changes in the value of Ghana's cedi can also affect the cost of importing petroleum products. Competition is another factor. PETROSOL competes with established companies that already have strong customer bases. The energy industry itself is changing, with increasing investment in renewable energy and electric vehicles. The company will need to execute its expansion plans successfully if it wants to deliver long-term value for shareholders. On the other hand, there are several reasons why investors may be interested. PETROSOL has built a recognizable brand in Ghana. The company has expanded quickly over the past decade. If it successfully uses the money raised to grow its operations, increase profits, and adapt to future energy trends, shareholders could benefit over the long term. Its interest in renewable energy and electric vehicle charging also shows that management is looking beyond traditional fuel sales. That could become an important competitive advantage in the years ahead. But if you ask me, here is my view. Here is how I see it. The approval to raise the capital is good news for Ghana's capital market. It gives investors another opportunity to participate in the growth of a local company. However, approval alone is not enough reason to invest. Before putting your money into an IPO, read the prospectus carefully, study the financial statements, understand the risks, compare the value with other listed companies, and also invest money that fits your long-term financial goals. Successful investment don't chase headlines. They make informed decisions based on facts. PETROSOL's planned public offering could become one of the most talked about investing opportunities in Ghana this year. Whether it turns out to be an excellent investment will depend on the company's financial performance, its valuation, and how effectively it delivers its growth plan after raising capital. As investors, our job isn't to buy because everyone else is buying. Our job is to understand the business before we invest. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Money Code Africa on YouTube, and turn on your notification because I will be breaking down the official PETROSOL prospectus as soon as it is released. Thank you for watching, and remember, don't just work for money. Learn how to make your money work for you, and I'll see you in the next one.